Christ. That was an absolute... Okay. Have a great stream from us at wherever. Okay, so I need to get this up on YouTube just so I can send it on Twitter.
Sound?
And then we should be...
Cooking the gas.
We are live. Check my... Yeah, we are live apparently. We are live.
If you're watching this after we've been live, thanks a lot for joining us while Harry gets on to Twitter and YouTube and gets the word out.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, we are live.
Went through the technological gauntlet.
Oh my God. It's been an absolute nightmare, but we're here. Finally, we're live. Okay, that's been sent out. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to check what it looks like on... Yeah, okay. That's fine. Right, I'll just share my screen for now.
Cool.
And yeah, I don't know if it tells you on here because I'm used to like seeing like how many people... Oh, it does say how many people are viewing. It does. It says in the top. Oh, can you see that?
Nah, I can see the chat, but Weasel Mount, Haggis Light, Simo, and Kurt. Boom. Fist bumps.
Ah, yeah. I can see him as well. Let's go. Yeah, I've just opened up the chat. Awesome, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, sorry for the delay, lads. It's been an absolute nightmare, to say the least. But we're here. We are here, and we're ready to go.
Ready to rock and roll.
We really are. Okay, so I don't really need Twitter now, do I? Should we just have a look at, well, what's happening this game week in terms of my current stand-ins?
Let's see.
Start off. So yeah, last night the River Boys just went on a complete madness. Yeah, 449 points. We're fifth in All-Star Rare. With 29.49 points off top, and yeah, Casco got his clearance off the line taken away, which yeah was is controversial. I'll see if I can show you the. I basically tweeted Opta just in case, just in case they give us anything. Have a look at this. What do you think?
Ooh. Well, if it's on the basis of the Armani like presence, that's bullshit. Like
it's poor, that, isn't it?
He makes the clearance, you know.
I know. It's like what happens if there's another player behind? Do you know what I'm saying? Like what?
I can get that for last man tackle and stuff, but for like clearance off the line, like that's a bit different.
Because like you could, yeah. I think that's harsh, to be fair.
Was the Fibble Index at last man tackle was a thing, or is that Sorare? Where's last man tackle scored?
Yeah, last man tackle, Sorare. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, last man tackle. So remember
game winning goal.
Game winning goal.
Imagine you had that on here. That'd be fun.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, that would add a bit of spice to the Matrix, I think, in a weird way.
It was so flawed, but like,
it was, wasn't it? It was really annoying, but amazing when your player did get the game winning goal.
5-1 or something. It's the cunt that scored the second goal. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just so. Yeah, that was annoying, to be fair. But yeah, we're looking good in All-Star. We're currently fifth, like I said. There is a few teams / boys to still play, so I don't think that fifth will stand. There's a few like good scores. I think a couple guys have got like a like a 4-man river stack with like a forward or whatever from a different team. So yeah, I'm not dead set on me finishing fifth, but hopefully we can stay in the tier ones. That would be nice. Did you see? How am I going to get this up? Let me show you this quickly. Not rewards. Game Week Center. Some guy on Twitter got a score of something like 520 in.
All-Star unique.
No, that was that was the 600, right?
What was it?
Yeah, I'm on about a Champions America Rare. Look at this.
Oof.
522.
Yes way, Jose. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't see that on Twitter. He's like, why did I play them here?
Yeah, because the best he can win is a tier 1.
Yeah, that's a kick in the teeth, man.
It's
So I'll
big
say
time.
player best team and the best payout. You know, like
Yeah, that probably is a good little lesson, isn't it? For sure.
sorry to see that. Yes, we Jose, but he'll still be buzzing. We bit of ETH on the podium, and it should be top of the tree, tier 1 from America anyway.
100%. Kurt said, "Do you own any River Plates player, Quinny?"
Just Barco,
Just Barco, yeah.
who wasn't involved last night, which is a kick in the teeth. I think he's
Yeah,
out
that
for another
was.
4 weeks or something.
Yeah, they said a month or so, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Yay.
Bit of a killer. What about is there any of your teams in the running this week, Quinny? Or
Well, I've basically had my all-star rare team. I've had my goalkeeper and my striker run, who actually were playing against each other. So I had Rui Diaz score for for the Sounders against my Sean Johnson for New York
okay,
in the same team. Sean Johnson came out the game with 50 points, and Raul Diaz came out with 65.
got
So
you.
doesn't always mean you can't play them against each other and together, you know.
That's
But
true.
the center of that team, I actually took inspiration from when I was in your live chat a few days ago. But I've
Hmm.
paired Eric Garcia with Guardiola, and then I've got Ferran Torres in midfield. So I've got those 3 cards left to run tonight,
That's
and
naughty. That.
that's all
What have you
star.
got them playing in All Star? Yeah.
And then I've got an all-star rare pro team where All Blacks, the goalkeeper, 64 points from last night.
Nice,
Multiplier brings it
nice.
up to 70, which is
Yeah.
cool. And I must be my All Blacks maxed out. I've got them at 1.1. Lovely. But anyway,
Do
the
you
rest
want
of the team is Leipzig and then
to,
Kostic
okay.
Super Rare. So back in Leipzig big time tonight.
Okay, that's big. They got Atalanta, right?
Yeah, away,
Yeah.
which is a bit saucy, but
Yeah, it'd be a tough game. That'd be a tough game. Right, should we get into some? Should we just get? Oh, I'll tell you another funny thing. I've actually finished 5th in Mega 5, and only 4 places gets prizes.
nightmare.
Yeah, that I played the River Boys in there as well, just as a flat, just as a flat 5. So, yeah, nice score. But I didn't power up any of my guys. I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to that. So, yeah, maybe that's cost me a little bit. Who knows? But yeah, a little bit frustrating.
The mega
But yeah,
competitions
Quinny.
have been getting much more competitive. I see more and more people talk about
Yeah,
Sorare
hundred
Mega.
percent, hundred
All these kind
percent.
of upgrades and attachments they've got. You know, I don't know if it
I mean,
makes the game more engaging or if it's there for people who are engaged to really go for it and win on the regular.
yeah, it gives them a little edge, doesn't it? If they're putting in that extra work, and buying the stuff from the store, whatever. I mean, it seems to make a difference in certain situations if you are sort of nibbling into those top 10 prizes and stuff. And well, we know on Sorare XP is massive as well. In certain situations, it's massive until you're in, you don't think it's that big until you're in a situation where it's big. You know what I'm saying?
Completely. Like that All Black, I was just saying 64 points on his SO5, but with the 10%, and I'm just waiting to check him now because I think he must be maxed out. Yeah, he is. Level 20, bang. Bob's your
Wow,
uncle.
that's
Result.
wild.
Yeah, so that brings his 64 up to 70. Because it's, and
Big,
also
isn't it?
if anyone's got an in-season card, you'll probably be doing 10% anyway. But I've got that now locked in forever, which is
Yeah,
cool. That's an
yeah,
old ass
that's
card.
really, yeah. There's too much sentimental value involved there now, isn't it? That's not going anywhere. That card.
No, and do you know, actually, as I think about it, as I look at this now, it's actually a really odd coincidence because I actually bought the All Black on the eve of the XP penalty, or on the eve, I'm sure it was the XP penalty, of that coming in. Because I was
Hmm.
thinking, I think I had a bit of an ETH balance, and I was like, who would I just buy that I just want to get a high level of already? Blah, blah, blah. Long story short, All Black, here we are, level 20. So that's quite cool.
Yeah, yeah. I can't fault that at all. I mean, he's come back into form a little bit, hasn't he? Fair play to him. So, I mean, yeah, it was inevitable. We all know he's world class. It's these things. Players go up and down. They've dips, whatever. It's part of the game. But yeah, it looks like he's sort of coming back into his own, isn't he?
Yeah, Champions League was saucy last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was big. Darwin got his goal, didn't he?
Oh yeah, Darwin looked great. It could have been a hat trick. And do you know it's funny
Yeah.
because when I was watching the game, I only managed to catch the highlights back. I didn't watch City live.
Uh-huh.
I watched Bayern Munich Villarreal. But what do you call it? I was thinking when I was watching it back, that's so good. That's such a good goaling technology, VAR, all that kind of stuff, kicking into play. Because on another night, Benfica would not have had any of those goals given.
Yeah.
I know they were raging at the 2 or 3 that get chopped off, but they would have had another 2 or 3 chopped off if they didn't have that. And that would be one
100%.
of those games where it's oh, the little team's been screwed by the big team and whatever.
Yeah.
So it was good to see
There's an
that coming
excuse
in.
then, isn't it? That's the problem with now.
Yeah.
There's no excuse in that sense.
Yeah.
Mate, the two balls, is it Tiskamas, the left back, or however you say it, the
Yes.
Liverpool lad, Tamikas, yeah, fucking hell. His ball, he's got like, I don't know, it just seems like he's just learning a lot from Robbo because the balls he whips in are just identical.
Yeah, those corners, man. Like it felt like, and again, I only watched back the highlights afterwards, but the 2 or 3 corners that were on that, it looks like he puts his full, like he puts
Yeah,
all his body into delivering the corner. And like, there's welling in
just
it, and there's
wraps it, doesn't he?
it's
Yeah.
like all his body's in it. It's like boof, and it like for the
Mm,
goal especially. There's a great flight of the ball when into a great area, and they almost got a few corners by all accounts.
yeah, Kanate, I think Kanate is going to be a beast for them.
I love Canati.
Oh my God, he's such a monster, isn't he?
Aye, very good.
He's just like a Van Dijk understudy right now, isn't he?
It's such a great pair as well because once they're both like they've both had little turns of being injured and in and out of the team and form and all the rest of it, but when they're like settled together, that could be one of those partnerships you talk about for the next 10 years afterwards.
100%, mate.
So
100%.
they're both just absolute brutes, at the back
Yeah.
and clever and quick.
What more do you want, isn't it? If they can play as well, then it's just game over. It's game over. Right, what about should we have a look at the prize pools for game week 262?
Yeah, let's have a look at prize pools.
See what we got cooking, and then we'll get into some lineup building on Sorare data, and then we'll have a look over your lineups and just sort of take it from there, is there?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Come on then. So
happy to be here.
Happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to be live.
Yeah.
Because we've had guys, if you've just joined or whatever, it's been an absolute nightmare for me to go live. I've got a Mac desktop, whatever, Mac Mini, and for whatever reason, it doesn't allow you to record audio through the Mac itself. Absolute nightmare. But we're here. Laird actually saved the day if Laird's watching. Thank you, Laird. Nice little recommendation for a new streaming website or app or whatever. So we're looking good. What's Rodrigo saying here? I wish Benfica was better defensively because we could really surprise them. If Alisson hadn't made the save in the 82nd, we'd have beat them 4-3. Things could have been different. Yeah. Fine lines in footy, isn't it?
Big time.
Okay, so we've got 76,000 in the casual league. Nothing crazy to look at here. Still the 3 limited prizes. We've got quite a few special weekly, should we call them, this week?
Yes.
We've got a specialist rare league, which is nice. We've got, what's that, top 3? Well, a top 20 get super rares, which is very, very tasty. How are we looking for the tier 1s? Okay.
The singular tier 1 for winning it.
Singular tier 1. Some few good boys in there. Maya, Nelson, Rubio, Cabral, Kalulu, Roldan. Some nice boys in there. The thing is, though, with this specialist league, you're still going to get a few like really good players in there. Like obviously you're allowed to use the obviously Al 15 over 60, and then obviously anything under that, but between 40 and 60, there's still loads of good boys that you can, if you've got a nice chunky gallery, you could definitely fit a nice little team in there. I mean, I've tried to fit a team in. I can't remember what it even looks like. I did it a few days ago. It's probably not going to look great. But yeah, I think, have you joined the specialist league this week, Quinny?
Yeah, I actually put quite a good team into the specialist rare. I really enjoyed the specialist competition. Like it was good with I feel like I let myself down on the super rare one last week. I made 1 or 2 bad choices, and like the way my gallery's built, and probably the same way for most people, but like just putting one guy in the wrong place, that kind of domino effect although that means that now this guy was in that team and then that guy was in that team, and had I put him here, that would have meant the domino effect would have went this way rather than that way, kind of jazz. So like I'm a wee bit gutted at myself for the specialist last week, but I'm hoping the rare one I do a wee bit better in this week.
Is this the first rare specialist we've had?
Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting. 1,600 participants. Nice chunky amount of people in there. And then we've got the Underdog Super Rare League. Have you joined this?
No, I've not got a goalkeeper that qualifies, unfortunately. I did have I had one that qualified for specialist, and he was underdog caliber, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But now he's not. He's now like L1542 or something. Or
nightmare.
But I would love to, because that's like something I could win probably.
Be nice, that, wouldn't it? Yeah. I've got a load of underperforming super rares, so that would be perfect for my guys. But yeah, like you said, no keeper. Specialist Limited League. So I'm guessing, Quinny, that they're running the Specialist and Underdog. Is that every week for the Limiteds?
It feels like for limited, it's kind of here to stay, and it's where
Yeah.
I've kind of like directed all my limited energy. If that makes
Okay. Yeah.
sense.
I didn't realize, see, they would stay in. I presumed it would just be like they would swap and change every, game week. It'd be limited one week, super rare the next, But it seems like they're running the limited every week, which is actually kind of big. Because, like you said, you can kind of put all your eggs in the specialist basket
Yeah,
if you really want to. I know obviously everyone's L15s are going to change and fluctuate, so you probably will have to keep buying and tinkering. You can't probably put the same team in every week. But the options there, I think, for that league to be open if it is there every week, I think that's kind of huge. What do you think?
yeah. Especially I think as well with that variance on like, who qualifies and who doesn't. Because it just opens up the potential for competition. I put a tweet out like right before this. Let's see the first game week we had with all the new competitions, saying
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I can't wait for an open game week," and I didn't hear anyone really complaining in a bad way in terms of like how much utility they had, even if they didn't win prizes. I didn't hear anyone complaining about not in a negative way. Everyone's going to
No,
go,
no,
"Oh, I was only half a point off or something." That happens. We're all human, but like,
100%.
so I feel that, and again, how open it is and the increased amount of new winners or the increased variance of who wins. I don't think we'll really know that for like another couple of months, if ever. Depends on Sorare data, I suppose, delivering information like that to us.
Yeah.
But I really feel with these specialist ones, because of the domino effect it has down the ladder, like I really have not played limited that much attention SO5.
Hmm.
But now I put all my attention into that, and subsequently, like my better cards in limited are not in under 23, they're not in All Star, they're not in Champion anymore. So if I'm doing that, then maybe those fields are less competitive now, and if that's still going to be somebody else's home, their priority competition, then maybe they'll find getting an extra 10 points isn't really required anymore to get to that tier 2 or whatever it is.
Yeah, less competitive, I guess, isn't it? If everyone's putting all their eggs in the specialist basket, which is, I think, a good thing to do if there's rares on offer and you want to progress up the tiers and stuff. But like you said, that does have a domino effect, and yeah, all the other leagues, like you said, the 23s, the Asians, the Americans, whatever, will maybe see a drop in quality slash scores, which I think it's all healthy. I think for sure.
It's that middle field, because you know what it's like better than anyone, Harry, how tight it is to win prizes, especially when you are in amongst the prizes. The you mentioned earlier XP, how much of a small margin makes such a difference. It's not, So I think it's that kind of middle field. You'll find that thins out, like that's what I
Yeah.
think anyway. It's not necessarily the top end teams, their scores are going to drop necessarily, or you need less points to get into the prizes. But it's like, oh well, if I get 350, then you're comfortable in a bracket, or if you get to 400, you'll be comfortable in a bracket. Whereas now it's like, oh, if I get 400 or 350 or whatever, you could be anywhere because because the competition is so heavy. It's dense.
100%. It is very dense, isn't it? 6,000. Well, we've got 6,400 in the specialist, fighting for just what's that, 500 prizes on the dot, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably see that rise to maybe 7.5k, maybe 8k, I'd say, before tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And then obviously we've got the Underdog Specialist League, Underdog Limited League, sorry, which I've not actually partaken in at all yet. I've played the Limited Specialist a few times. I've not got involved with the Underdog. I don't have many goalies, so it doesn't really help me right now. But again, this gives utility to those those cards L15 under 40, doesn't it?
See what? Yeah. So see, the only thing I've used that underdog league for
Hmm.
is I'll build the underdog team before a specialist team, but
Okay.
I don't actually use the underdog team. I just then have an easy way of working out my two best underdogs to put in the specialist team.
Okay. Yeah,
If you
I see
because
that.
you, because you need those two guys, so I'll just try and build the best underdog team, and then I'll go right. Oh, who's the best two guys in this criteria to then just dingy this team and go make take the two
Yeah, yeah.
best cards and put them into the good league.
No, that makes sense. Yeah,
But I've
that
not
makes.
actually. I'm the same as you. I've only ever had one keeper that qualifies as a L5, L15, Youth 40, whatever it is. So I've only done specialists. I've not done underdog for limited, just because of
Got.
the keeper requirement.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of sticky, isn't it, with the keeper situation? Moving over to limiteds, just under 20,000 in the All Star Limited, 2,000 prizes, 6,000 in under 23s, just over 5k in the champs, just
Wow.
under 4,004 in Challenger, 550 prizes. We've got the America just under 5k, and then just under 3.7K in Asia. So healthy numbers. I think. Well, I mean, they're all going to rise. I don't know how much more we're going to get in the limited All Star. What would you say?
I think that's an incredible number, 20,000. And just looking into it, of the 2,000 cards paid out,
Yeah,
35 cards are going to be stars, and then the next 120 will be tier ones. So it's
it's not
quite
bad.
yeah. If you can get into the thick of it, like it's a good field to be swimming in, and the
Yeah,
tail's really long as well. 606 back to 2,000 for the tier 3 dross. So even if you're getting a decent score in, then the tail's quite long. So
yeah,
like, if you're
hundred
getting in
percent.
amongst it, because a lot of these guys will be like dud cards and DNPs and bad choices of captains and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So out the 20,000, I don't know. So yeah, it's good. It's good to see. It's a decent amount, I think. I did notice, but when I was looking at the price pool, sorry to skip ahead or whatever, but like
No, it's
when
fine.
I was looking at rares, also there's less teams this week, as we know, in the Challenger region and a few other places.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I've noticed that, and I don't study the limited reward pools as heavily as I probably should, to be honest. But I've
Hmm.
noticed the rare ones are a little bit lighter than usual.
Yeah,
So
I've noticed that, especially with well, I mean, it's only 5 lighter to be fair. The under 23 Pro, I think the under 23 is like 60 lighter. I think it was 250 last weekend,
okay.
190 this weekend. Obviously, who are the leagues we don't have? Eredivisie are definitely out, aren't they? Who is there?
S-
Anything else?
Um,
SPL,
SPL
not
doesn't. Yeah, it's not
doesn't
really
really count, though, does it?
doesn't make an impact onto the
Not really.
reward
It's
pool.
not really a league, is it?
No comment. I think the Belgians are just less of them playing as well.
True. Yeah.
And
No. I don't even know if Belgium's playing.
or maybe they're not on at all.
I
Yeah.
could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure Belgium aren't playing.
Yeah, I think you're right. 'Cause I've not got Van der Vaart.
That's
Belgium's
it.
missing.
Yeah,
Gaza's just confirmed.
Belgium is missing. Love it, Gaza. Yeah. So obviously, like you said, Challenger is a bit light this weekend, which is good. I think. Obviously, if you're an Ajax stacker, it's not good news for you, but for us anti-Ajaxers, I think there's something to shout about, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, all my forwards are Celtic cards basically, so I'm like really gun shy this week. I've not got much firepower at
Yeah,
all, so I'm really I'm ruining that, to be honest with you. But it'll come back. They've still got games to play.
100%. What have we got? 14,000 All-Star, 500 cards, 10 star rares, 29 tier ones. Um, Pretty healthy. I think we'll probably see that rise to what, maybe 17K, maybe even more. I'd like to know what the ratio is. Like, how many people submit their lineups in the last like 5 hours? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there'll definitely be people that will maybe get a card in or haven't, or just maybe the passive player that just sets the alarm for like today and goes, "Oh, I better put my teams in." Kind of
Yeah,
idea.
true.
So
Very true.
17,000. I think we've kind of seen those numbers before, so I reckon that's probably about right. And I was actually thinking as well, like I when I seen earlier on how high it was, I was like, it does feel like the numbers have went up a little bit on All Star. And again, I don't really check this that clinically, but
Mhm.
it feels like there's a wee bit of a sense of urgency around using these common goalkeepers for as long as you can. So
Yeah,
I don't
100%.
know if it feels like maybe one or two people have armed up and just went and got an or two rares and just they're going for it now or something in the meantime.
Yeah, trying to fill their boots, and they.
Why not? I'd be doing the
Yeah,
same.
why not? 100%. 100%. Yeah, nothing seems too lighty in terms of rewards. I mean, Asia Pro 11, you could argue, but there's only 230 entrants, so ratio-wise, it sort of, levels itself out, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
No
and
Korea.
yeah, true, no Korea. So yeah, I think there's nothing to really cry about rewards-wise, is there this week? Well, there hasn't been for a while, to be fair, I don't think, but
No, it's been decent enough.
yeah,
But it's just kind of noticing that, like, the first thing I always look at is All Star Pro, and it's always been like for the last bunch of weekends, it's been 120, and then just
okay,
seeing that, it's 105 all in now. The
yeah,
Star Pool is still 20, so it's really
it's nice.
It's the tail
Yeah,
that's cut off it. The top end of it's still decent. If you're going to make top 100, it's not really changed the prize pool. I know that's a bit
no, that's fair.
quick to say, but like, if you've got a team that bangs, you're still going to be in amongst it.
100%. No, I mean, like historically, All Star Pro has been like my most successful division by a mile. Really, looking back in my rewards, like when I weren't winning for months, 6 months or whatever. When I started winning for whatever reason, it was in All Star Pro, and yeah, that. And then at the same time, I was playing Champs Pro, and I could not get a sniff And I mean, I've never won a Champs Pro reward ever. Sorry, a Champs reward, like, period. Champs Europe or Champs Pro. And I played
Wow.
it for a year. I swear on my life. And I didn't have bad cards. Like, I had like Patrick Schick super rare, Leo Dubois super rare. Like, I had decent, I didn't have anyone crazy, but they were good enough to wear Lorenzo Pellegrini rare. It wasn't bad at all. But I swear on my life, I could not win a card for love or money. But when I'd stick him into All Star Pro, for whatever reason, less competitive, I don't know what it was. But I was getting a lot of luck in there. Have you found anything similar like that?
Well, I always go for pro first because it's like the best. Like say, if you've got a team that's going to hit 500-600 points, go something mental. Like you just want to make sure that team gets the most it can. So for me, like I can't, as much as I get really tempted by like the specialist league or going up to super rare divisions and whatever, I have to always build that team first because I want, like, and again, like this as well, Harry. Like you had a great win with the super rares in that the other day, but that was, and forgive me if I'm wrong, but that was like the only card you won.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you win, it doesn't mean that you win 10 cards. Sometimes
No,
that is just like I'm winning one baddie, and
yeah, yeah.
and I think that's a division not to overlook because if you are going to win big, like
It's in
the
there,
mo-
isn't it?
the podium pays out amazing, like the
Yeah,
star quality at the top of that is the top of the pool because it's the all-star.
100%. I've just noticed here there's no Mbappe in the All-Star rare pools, but he's in the specialist rare pools,
Nice.
if that makes sense.
That's good for me to know.
Where is he to? Sorry, yeah, in this prize pool, he's in the specialist limited, yeah. So there's two Mbappes in here apparently, but there's none in the All-Star. Is there any in under 23?
Nope, that is
There's
Haaland
not,
and
no.
Vlahovic at the top.
Interesting. 5 and 9 left. Somebody's winning a Vlahovic this week, surely to God.
Aye,
Or a
nice.
couple people probably win one. Pedri's on fire right now, isn't there? Two left. Nico's up there. Look at that. Nico's fifth in the prize pool. Nico
Nico.
Schlotterbeck.
Schlotterbeck's one of the talks of the season, really, isn't he? How
He
amazing!
is, yeah. He's come on a ton, hasn't he? To be fair,
He's getting all the
scores
plaudits.
a class. Um,
That's a good pool.
I'm neglecting the chat a little bit here. What's Coltrane saying? I always do under 23 rare over rare pro, but I only have one super rare. He's not amazing. I mean, yeah, that makes complete sense. It's all relative to your gallery, isn't it? If you've not got strong super rares, then I obviously wouldn't push the boat and go into those rares with one. I'm not saying you can't win, but ultimately, if all your rares are strong, why wouldn't you just go into the under 23 rare? Would be my thinking. Um,
Agreed.
GW262. Any worry about Nico Williams playing this weekend after being subbed off injured last weekend? I've got good news for you. I did a bit of research. It was actually his birthday yesterday, Nico. So happy birthday to Nico yesterday. And I saw, because they're playing Friday tomorrow. The press conference with this was this morning, and yeah, everyone's fit. So that's great news for you. Hopefully, they get a good result away to Derby against Big Wazza. But yeah, I think should we have a look at the matches quickly?
Yeah, let's
We
go
can
for
just
it.
sort of highlight a couple ones that maybe stand out to us. So we've got Super League, nothing really to shout about there. We've got Benfica Porto Sporting. Sorry, that's huge.
It's a big game, isn't it?
Yeah, Jesus. Porto at home to Porto Manice, which will be probably a 3-4 maybe.
Yeah.
Going off what they've been doing over the last few weeks / months. We've got the championship, which we won't talk about. um, not much going on there. And then we've got the Superliga. I think this is a big game. The Midgetland Aalborg game. I think second v third, maybe.
Yeah, sounds like it. I know Alborg are third anyway.
Yeah, there's a decent little matchup there. We've got there's one Eredivisie team. I actually didn't know that was happening. So that means Okoye is going to be playing in the under 23 pools.
Oh yeah. I won a wee rare midweek as well. Who'll be playing in that game? I never even thought. That's why I never thought about Eredivisie not being on because I've not got many Eredivisie players, but he was
Yeah.
coming up in my lineup builders available. So that's why I never even.
And then we've
So
got
one game
Dynamo
on
Zagreb. Looks like they got a good fixture. I don't know much about this team, but I
Easter.
know I've never heard of them, so they probably aren't great. So it could be a nice little whitewash there for Zagreb. We have got the RPL. Zenit at home to Ural. Should be a decent game for them, I'd imagine. Dynamo at home to Gronzi. Can see that being a decent game as well.
Yeah, Dynamo have got lots of that U23. I'm just looking as well. I don't think the Turkish fixtures are actually okay. Fenerbahce and Galatasaray are both at home.
Yeah, Trabzonspor at home as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there could be a few decent scores there.
Salzburg away, that's good. Against Vine, maybe.
Salzburg away against Austria win. Yeah, that's nice. It's what we need after last week. What they win 6-1 last week.
Yeah. What do you think?
Something
Well,
stupid.
what do you think will happen with Bayern Munich against Bielefeld? Do you think they'll drop the ball again after the midweek?
I mean, you'd hope that they're really fired up in the sense of like we need to correct something. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously blanked in the week, out of the Champions League. Jesus, like if you can't do something dangerous against Bielefeld away, who are no mugs, but you are Bayern. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget that. It's like you've got to be smashing them. I think to restore a bit of faith and morale, I guess, in the team. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I would agree. But I think Bielefeld beat them last time. I'm just waiting to check it now.
I was going to say, I thought they had a few decent results this week, this year.
Head to head. No, they lost 1-0, but
Okay.
they did draw 3-3 at some point as well. That was
Okay.
last year. Bayern did have a shocking result against somebody. It couldn't have been Bielefeld then. It must have been somebody else.
Was it Bochum? Bochum have been dangerous.
It was. Yeah, it was Bochum.
Might have been Bochum.
Yeah. So
we've got
Bielefeld, they should. Oh, fine.
Go on.
Yeah, they should smash Bielefeld.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
I seen that fixture and I thought it was Bochum I was thinking about, but no, that's
clarified
it for me. I think, yeah. But again, it's who do they play, and how do they react? I seen a clip on Twitter from one of the Bayern Munich hardcore fan journalist pages.
Yeah,
and it was so it was the training session after they get eliminated, and then after the training session, this guy's got a video of the training ground, and it's like Nagelsmann coming out barefoot. And just by himself, just pure deep in thought. He's just barefoot walking out on the training pitches after training and that. So
interesting.
And Chrissy Quirk is coming up with Bella Kochkap. That's the boy at Bielefeld. I think he's getting a bit of a rep there now, or is it Bochum maybe? But
okay.
But he's a good shout if you want to look at. I think he's young as well, but I've seen his name about Bella Kochkap. But so anyway, my point is who knows what state Bayern are in? You would expect it to come out swinging, but who knows, man?
Tough to say, isn't it? Coltrane says, will Vieira start, you reckon? I'm guessing you mean Fabio Vieira. I'm going to go with yes, if I had to guess. It's not nailed on, but I'm probably going to start him if that's what you're kind of asking. Coltrane also says, Leverkusen Leipzig should be a good game. Yeah, that's huge, actually. I don't know how I missed that. Oh, it's at the bottom, that's right. Yeah, that's big. Dortmund, Wolfsburg, equally as big.
Yeah, well, Wolfsburg are just starting to get themselves back together a bit. Nemeka's back fit and he scored a few goals in the last two games. And Dortmund's defence just leaks. So, I would expect that to be a very good game to watch. But looking at it, it looks like it's a Saturday game at 2:30. So you're only going to see the highlights unless you're on the dark web or whatever. But I think that'll be a good game. Haaland's back. Obviously, there's no Reina.
Yeah,
a few other things knocking about. So that game that could be 3 each or something.
Yeah, very easily. How are so we got Valencia at home to Osasuna. What about your Celta Vigo boys away to Bilbao? How do you feel about that one?
So I've been looking at that intensely over the last 2 or 3 days because of my Denis Suarez and whatever. I think it'll be the thing with Celta Vigo is it doesn't really matter who they're against. They will. That's not a mad arrogant way because they're not exactly world beaters, but you do get a consistent tune out of them. They're not. Even for a small team, they're not a flexible team, so they won't go, oh, we're away to Bilbao, so we'll play 2 banks of 4 and we'll do this, or we're away to Barcelona. It's the same thing every time. So whenever I look at these fixtures for those types of guys, I'm just more thinking about how likely are they, number one, to get 90 minutes, and then number two, let's just say Celta Vigo, because that's who we're talking about. Can Celta Vigo get 2 goals in this match? Because that's my apex situation, really. There's 2 goals and they're involved in one each.
That's all you need, effectively, isn't it? You could need just 1 goal, assist, boom.
That would be perfect. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And Bilbao have been okay. They've not been amazing. And Celta Vigo, So anyway, that could be a game that's 0-0. But I'm hoping it's more 2-0 to Celta.
That'd be nice. Sevilla, Real Madrid. Do you think Real Madrid rotate heavily?
No, I was actually giving this game a lot of thought because. One thing I was noticing, see if you look at, and again, sorry to jump backwards to go forwards, but if you look at Frankfurt are playing Barcelona tonight, right? Today's the 14th of February.
Okay, yeah.
Frankfurt's next game is the 17th
3 days. Oh my God.
and they're playing
In
Barca.
Barca. Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Jesus. Yeah,
so
that's rough.
So what I started doing when I noticed that was trying to look at how many of these teams that played Europe have got a really short turnaround. And Real Madrid's actually is one of the better turnarounds this midweek. You know, they've got
Okay.
like 4 days or something, whereas a lot of teams, so some have got 4, some have got 5, some have got 3, but Real Madrid aren't. So anyway, I expect the midfield will be Kroos, Modric, and Valverde. I think that's what the midfield will be, if that's
Okay.
where the question comes from. So I won't be
Yeah.
playing Camavinga. I was really close to playing my Joan Jordan because I think Seville haven't played this midweek. Of course, it's the first time all season they've had the midweek off. It's a 6-pointer for them. They're at home, and I wouldn't be surprised if this was an upset. And what I mean by that is a Seville win, because they
Yeah.
have had that time to prep and whatever. And if Real Madrid, I don't think they will rotate too much.
Fair
That might
enough.
backfire on them.
Yeah, possibly. I think they play Osasuna then 3 or 4 days later, like you said.
Yep.
So yeah, maybe they just need to go balls to the wall against Sevilla, and then maybe give players a rest if needed against Osasuna, because obviously you'd like to think easier fixture on paper. Yeah, Carl's just joined the party. Carl, what's going on, man?
It's a similar
Appreciate.
situation with Villarreal as well. They're at home at Getafe, and again they're trying to climb up the table to get European football for next year.
Yeah.
But Villarreal played last night, which is the 13th, and then their next game is on the 16th. So again, in our
Away as well. Yeah.
Yep. So Villarreal are a team that I would avoid at all, But and again,
Yeah.
after that, Villarreal have got another game 4 days later, and then there's a week or two where there's a bit of a break in fixtures. So
Got you. Barca at home to Cadiz. What do you think?
So again, Barca have got 4 days, so they play tonight, and then they're
Yeah.
at home to Cadiz 4 days later. So I'm a bit nervous about my Ferran Torres, personally.
Yeah,
So
I see it.
but again, sometimes I'm too hyper cautious with these things. But again, I think Barca at the new camp will roll Cadiz over. I'm
You'd
actually
hope so.
playing my limited Negredo because I think he'll score, because Barca might be a wee bit jaded where all the fixtures
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they've seen.
I can see
And
that.
Big Negredo loves a goal in a big match. Maybe
Yeah.
he'll just get a wee
The
cheeky goal.
veteran. Absolute
Aye.
veteran, isn't he? Kurt says both Real Madrid's fullbacks got injured last game too, or left backs. Yeah, I saw Mendy came off. To be fair,
Yeah, so Vasquez will be playing at left back probably then, if
yeah,
Mendy and Marcelo are out.
yeah. What do you think? Or one thing I was going to mention for people in the chat, and maybe you yourself, because you do own a Garcia, Araujo is actually suspended for the Cadiz game.
Yep.
So
I've got no qualms
looks,
over Garcia. I think he'll be in.
yeah, I think he'll be in.
Serginho Dest is also back in training.
He is. I saw that. Yeah, he's in contention. They said for even tonight, apparently.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think I seen the same tweet then.
And
Yeah.
then PK's touch and go last minute. They've said like he's literally going to make a decision like in the last hour or so before the game. So interesting one there. And then Atletico just obviously got put out by Man City. What do you think?
I think Atletico just go back to the league and just do as they've been doing the last couple of weeks. They've been on this kind of upward trajectory this season. They've got a lot of stick early season and last year as well, just for the whole Griezmann stuff. And then they brought not Griezmann, sorry, I beg your pardon, Felix. And then they brought Griezmann in the summer.
Yeah.
But I think they are the reigning champions. Espanyol have been okay with RDT and whatever, but I think Atletico Madrid are going to want to get back, and they need to get into second. Second place is let me look at the table just so I'm quoting things properly. Real Madrid are obviously got a 9-point lead or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, between Atleti, Sevilla, and Barca, that second place is, Atleti are losing ground to Barca, so they can't afford to drop any more points, especially if you expect Sevilla drop points to Real Madrid. If Atleti think that's going to happen. They then move up into third, and they just want to be finishing as high as possible, so they're not doing qualifiers and all that caper.
No, that makes sense. Okay, that kind of concludes our La Liga situation. We'll just try and quickly scan over the French league. Marseille, PSG, big one.
Yeah, well, I did a video with Jeremy Megan. It went out earlier today, and he reckons PSG are going to run all over Marseille. He thinks that just the way the teams are shaped up and whatever, that PSG should be scoring a bucket. It's going to be probably Mbappe's final Le Classique, PSG v Marseille.
Yeah.
And he also reckons after this game, we might get some news on Mbappe's future, maybe some confirmations after that. And maybe
Interesting.
Maybe about Pochettino and the manager situation as well. Who knows?
Yeah.
So this is kind of this is almost like the final day of PSG's season. Because after this, the league's done. There's no danger. There's no big games. There's nothing.
Yeah. No Champions.
Thing. Yeah. It was the end of their season almost.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting one to see if that Mbappe news does sort of break. Rennes Monaco is a tasty one.
Yeah, top of the table clash. That should be difficult to back on SO5 to put it kindly.
Yeah.
Like, just looking at it now, Rennes quite comfortable enough in third. Monaco, a lot of pressure on them to get top five.
Hmm.
With Nice dropping points last week and Strasbourg winning. Then yeah, this is a bigger game for Monaco than it is for. It's a big game for Rennes, but it's definitely a bigger game for Monaco.
Definitely. I think I'm just looking there. Lille at home to Lens. I mean, Lens are no mugs, but Lille have been struggling recently. Jesus Christ. They can't score for love or money.
I know. Lille are so annoying to watch, especially in
Yeah,
SO5 because they've got so many nice players
they do.
profile-wise, But, I watched a lot of them last year when they won the title and they were frustrating. And again, I've seen that to Jeremy about a week or two ago. Like, when
Hmm.
Lille did win the title, like, you'll remember it, Harry. Like, so many of their games, they won it in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
It
late,
wasn't as if
wasn't
they,
it?
yeah, it wasn't as if they ran away with the league and they were all conquering. It was like every game, tooth and nail fighting, 85th
Yeah,
minute winners and 90-minute equalisers and all that kind of stuff.
100%. Like most champions teams sort of do, like they sort of win ugly in that sense.
Yeah, it wasn't like a PSG type where it was like 20 points clear or nothing. It was like
Just
proper
steamroll. Yeah.
it was like in the mud grinding. And
Jesus.
as soon as you lose a few pieces out of a team like that, like the manager, for example, then it quickly goes backwards.
Definitely, mate. Just looking at Serie A here. Napoli Roma's a big one.
Oh yeah.
Atlanta Verona's a big one equally. Couple of big games there. Milan at home to Genoa. You must like that fixture.
Yeah, Milan have absolutely bottled it, but twice in the last month. I think they drew with Bologna last week. They drew with Salernitana 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And both of those teams are easy gimmies. And now they've opened the door up. Inter Milan have got a game in hand, and if they win their game in hand, they're actually top by a point. So
Wow.
AC Milan have totally thrown this away. They were comfortable running away with it,
Hmm.
and now Inter Milan and Napoli, Inter Milan especially, maybe it's not really a case for Juventus at this stage. So yeah, all three of those teams, I'll be watching all three of their games, at least how the scores drop in.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. Juve at home to Bologna should be a decent game for them, I think, SO5 wise.
Yeah.
Um,
But AC at home to Genoa and Inter away to Spezia. I'll be back in any AC and Inter cards you've got that you reckon will start because it's cup final time. And both of these teams actually, I think they play this midweek, but they play each other in the semi-final of the cup.
got
So
you.
it's like a proper rivalry title fight. This year it's getting quite spicy in Italy.
Yeah. Few Prem games. I've got my Fafana playing away to Newcastle if he does decide to play. West Ham at home to Burnley if Black's watching. Decent little fixture there for his West Ham stack. United at home to Norwich. I don't even know what United are doing right now, so I don't even want to speak about them, to be honest. I have no interest in going down that rabbit hole.
I can't blame you.
Tottenham at home to Brighton. It could be a Kulevsky masterclass again, possibly.
Yep. Have you
We've
got
got yeah. Go on.
any Champions League? Have you got any AFC Champions League guys?
I do. I have Seo Young Woo playing for Ulsan. He's my only guy. I don't know what type of team they're playing against, if I'm honest.
Who have Ulsan got? Let me see.
They're playing
Johor.
Johor Darul.
No, I don't know that one. I'm quite.
Yeah.
I've seen Urawa Reds. I've got Osaka playing, and I just realised actually looking at this that they've got 2 fixtures in the one game week. So
Yeah.
anyone who's never had that before, the first time your guy sets on the pitch, if it's for the last minute of the first game, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So if you do have any
100%.
guys rotate, if you don't see them in the first, if they're on the bench first game, pray that they do not get off the bench and then they start the second game.
Yeah.
But Urawa Reds, their first match is away to Home United, and Home United are a Singapore team or something.
Okay.
So I think they should spank them. And then their second game is I think it's all neutral location, all this stuff, but it's at Shandong Luang, it's a Chinese team.
Got you.
But I'm hoping Urawa, the first game against Home United, I hope that's a 7-0.
Oh, could very well be, mate.
Yokohama, well, Yokohama have got Hwang An. Hwang An, is that see if they're from Vietnam? Oh my god!
Really? Oh, this could be a crazy scoring game week, couldn't
Why
it?
didn't I look at this before? I bet you Professor Techers and all that are sitting there laughing their asses off right now. I looked at this months ago.
That could be like a 10-0, couldn't it?
I want to see if that is the team from Vietnam because that will be a spanking. Where is Yokohama?
I'll I've typed them into Google now. Let's see what comes up.
Yes, they are the Vietnam team.
They
Oh,
are, yeah, they are. You're right.
that's going to be brutal, man. That's going to be Yokohama rule the day. By the way, I'm calling it now. I wish I'd fucking seen that sooner.
Yeah, they're going to completely destroy all Asia competitions,
Uh,
all star probably as well.
I need to go look at these group stages. Wish I'd done this
Jesus.
before.
I was also looking at, is it John Buck? They're playing Sydney FC. I mean, Sydney might be decent, right? They're
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
the A-League.
They'll be organised for sure.
Yeah. Okay, that sort of concludes the FC Champions League. And then we've got J-League teams and games going on. I mean, Antlers at home, probably a nice little win.
Do you have John Buck cards? Yeah.
I don't know. The only one I have is Seo Young Woo from Ulsan, to be fair.
Because John Book are in that same group as Yokohama, which means they'll have two games against the Vietnam team as well. But if they're playing in such close succession, then you do need to watch out that double game jeopardy that you get, you know.
Kills you a little bit, doesn't it?
Kobe have got the group, man. Look at Quinny and I don't know the Shanghai team, but they're from Thailand. Oh my god. Quinny, they're Singapore, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god. I need to find out if Lincoln's going to play. I might just go put him in a team actually, because if he doesn't make one game, maybe he makes the second.
I'm sure you're playing some part, won't he?
Let's see if I saw Kobe's actual. Sorry, I'm totally derailing this, but I've just realised how tasty this is.
I'm just seeing Chrissy Quirk just says Tekkas has some max team less than for Vietnam as he's just moved from Belgium. Funny story, Chrissy. He was like one of my first ever rewards, Maxine Lestan on Sorare. Yeah, I used to have his rare card. Yeah, funny story. I never knew he moved to Vietnam. Jesus, that's a bit of a come down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got the Peruvian League, which is we're not going to bother speaking about. Argentinian League, even though there's a few new Peruvian teams on the platform. We've got the Argentinian League, River away to Banfield. This really touch and go in terms of trying to work out who's going to get rotated and stuff.
That's tough.
So yeah, it is going to be tough. Boca at home to Lanús. I've not heard of them, to be fair, but seems like a nice little fixture there for the Boca boys. The Premier A division, and we've got the Brazilian Serie A, Santos at home. I can't wait for Flamengo to be on this platform.
Yeah.
I've got a friend out here who's Brazilian, and he's a massive Flamengo fan. He went to Doha to watch them play against Liverpool or wherever they played Liverpool in the the World Cup club competition situation. He's a massive fan, and yeah, he's always telling me who's the next decent player from Flamengo and all that situation. But they have some killer SO5 players if they were to jump on the platform. Corinthians at home.
Eduardo play for Yokohama? I've got no idea.
Yeah, it's tough to say, isn't it? Coltrane says Gatpo starts. Okay, good situation for me. I've got him in my under-23 team, but I had Maicon play yesterday and he hit like a 50, so I'm probably out of anything there. Lucas says, do you think Keenan Park is a good choice for limited specialist? Quinny, you might be able to chime in on this one. I'm not too...
I'll try and avoid New York, to be honest with you. Like New York at home to Salt Lake should be decent, but Salt Lake have been dangerous, and they did just play Champions League and get beat, so they will will be a wee bit wind out the sails, a wee bit of deflation. Getting to the semi-finals and getting knocked out by an MLS team will be sore.
For sure. Just looking at the MLS fixtures, LA away to Chicago, Los Angeles at home to Kansas, New York City at home to Real Salt Lake.
I think it could be a good game for Galaxy away to Chicago.
Yeah, I think they're struggling right now. No Shaqiri. Yeah, there could be a nice few scores there. Toronto at home to Philly. Philly have been amazing, haven't they, so far? Unbelievably defensively. New York Revolution, can they revitalize their sort of season and stuff against Charlotte?
Well, I'm kind of hoping so. I think this is the first midweek in a while anyway. Or the first kind of little period that the Reds have had off, because they had Champions League, obviously, after winning the title last year, the Supporters' Shield. Mm-hmm. So, in Charlotte, I think they've been a bit of a surprise. I think we all expected them to be Cincinnati Mark II, but they've actually collected points. They've actually played football.
They really have.
So, but they're away, and that's, their strength has been at home because they get 75,000 people in there, So, away to the Revs, last year's Supporters' Shield winners. I'm playing my Sebastian Lletget in a strong team, and I think anyone who's got Carlos Heel would be mental not to play him in a strong team, because on 100%. Paper that should be a big result, and if it does go that way and you don't do it, you will regret it.
100%, mate. What about Seattle at home to Miami? That could be a I know they just played last night. They went through against New York City, but yeah, I think that could be a nice little fixture for the Sounders.
Sounders Nashville. Yeah, well, again, they'll be buzzing. Champions League final they're in now.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll be high as a kite, and Miami are twisting in the wind forever. With maybe sorting their crap out and maybe not.
What's Aaron Johns just joined the pie? Aaron, what's going on, man? I'm doing well, thank you, bud. Hope you're well. Do we think both Perisic and Dzeko start for Inter tomorrow? 3 decisive between them last weekend, but my mate has doubts. Has put doubts in my head. What do you think?
Dzeko definitely starts. I don't know about Perisic. I think I've not got a Perisic, so I'm not close to that. But that they have to win Inter Milan every game now. They've been given a great opportunity to hold on to the title. So they will. If your mate's putting things into your head about they might rotate and rest, no, they won't. This will be the best team that they can put out from the start, and that includes Dzeko for sure. And I don't know where Perisic is fitness wise and whatnots, But 100%. Dzeko will play. I'm playing Dzeko. I would recommend you do too.
Yeah, fair enough. Atlanta at home to Cincy. Atlanta, I tell you what,
fucking headache.
It's not looking good, is it? It's a massive headache right now, injury-wise. I mean, they're just not playing well equally. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I went to watch them play against Kansas in live, and they look good. Obviously, Martinez played, got a couple of assists, whatever. To be fair, Luis, is it Araujo, however you pronounce his second name? He's back now, I think. So that's going to be a massive, massive boost because firepower-wise, losing Martinez is obviously massive. I know it's equally as devastating for you as well, unfortunately. It is. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Atlanta. I really don't know.
It's just injuries, and again, they had a lot of guys, I say a lot, but significant players like Robinson, whatever, doing international duty at the beginning of the season. The Barco thing, the Almada thing, blah blah blah. It's been a bit of a disjointed start to the year, and now Joseph's out, and Almada and Luis Araujo got injured after one game. Obviously, he's back now, as you say.
Yeah.
But I've been thinking this since last year with Atlanta. All their players fit and available, they will beat teams 4 or 5-0. I can see that happening when everyone is fit, and it just never happens. It hasn't happened yet, and I'm praying for the day where they can all be fit and available and play bloody 10 matches in a row, because they should spank teams. They've got so much going forward.
They've got a lot of strength, haven't they? If all fit, like you said. Just going down here, we've got the Liga MX. I'm not going to really go through that. Then we've got the Chilean League as well. So, that concludes the little preview of all the games this game week. Should we just get into some lineup building, Quinny?
Yeah, whatever, man.
To be fair, I don't have... So I only found out this morning, Rob told me, and I obviously told you, but you knew anyway, Tani obviously isn't playing against his parent club. So that means I'm out of under 23 Super Rare right now. So I won't be being able to field a team in there because I was planning on playing a rare forward again, because Cho Young Wook, obviously we know the K-League is on a bit of a break right now. So I'm a little bit low when it comes to under 23 forwards, especially ones that are super rare and play. So yeah, looks like that's completely out the window for me now. So I kind of need to go back to the drawing board a little bit. And as always, people who watch the streams, I always start with under 23 Pro. It's my bread and butter. Not that it's my most successful, but I just want to be successful in it. I won it that one time, but apart from that, I've won maybe a few other cards. I think I won a Theo Hernandez once from there, but other than that, I've struggled in the sense that there's only 45 prizes. There's a load of guys, a load of good teams obviously entering. So obviously I need to put my best team in my head in this division. So is that something you do as well? Or do you play rare Pro 23, or do you just play rare?
Yeah, so I've actually, as of this week anyway, I've got no rare entries. It's all rare Pro except for Global All-Star.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think under 23s I'd probably do third. So I'll do All-Star first, then Champ, then U23.
Got you. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Well, obviously my gallery is 95% 23, so this is where I need to, I need to win from here. If I don't win from here, I don't win from anywhere. Effectively, is the way I basically look at it. Even though I'm winning right now in gas, well, not winning, but I'm fifth, whatever. I have branched out into older players over the last couple of weeks because summer's coming up, whatever, less options, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I mean, for me here in terms of goalkeepers, Quinny, it looks a no-brainer on paper to go with Costa. looks like the easiest fixture. You'd like to think. I know the opposition score's saying the same thing as well. Got a few, Pice away to Red Bulls. He'll probably be busy. Whether he keeps a clean sheet is a very different story. Osaka away to Iwata. I don't know too much about them.
Iwata are rubbish.
They're poor, are they?
Iwata are rubbish this year.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, if you think Osaka's playing, I know he played the last game, didn't he?
He's played the last 3 and got 3 clean sheets. So
yeah,
I don't see how.
Iwata are crap by all accounts in their form. But I've played players that have played Jubilee Iwata. They've done well this year. So
okay, interesting. I just a quick side note. I did buy a Hiroshima defender, which isn't under 23, to go with my Osaka. I've actually bought a forward as well, which is under 23. So this is Misuta. He started the league pretty well. To be fair, that 43 that you're looking at here is kind of false. He actually won a penalty and they missed it. He did, so he didn't get the decisive for that, but I didn't have him at the time. I think I've overpaid a little bit for him. I used the money that I won from the super rare, the third position situation with 0.2 ether they gave me. But I'm low on under 23 forwards, rares specifically, so I needed to get him in. And then I bought a Hiroshima defender to go with Osaka if I don't play him in under 23s. He scored really well last game. Maybe I'm buying on a bit of a high, but hopefully they can continue their defensive form and do well for me. But like I said, I think Costa's a no-brainer here. I don't think I can go with anyone else other than Costa. Benny Diaz is a nice option as well, I think, at home. I've not played him yet. He's one of my rewards from last week.
It looks like Fenerbahce are heavy favourites to win. And
what would you say?
19th?
What do you say, mate? Second versus 19th. Yeah, I mean, on paper, you'd have to go him over Osaka, wouldn't you, if you were picking like another team, if that makes sense? Or would you?
Osaka's away. I like people at home. Like defensive players at home is always a deal breaker. Something that I'll make a decision on. If someone's 100%. At home or away, if there's a coin toss, I'll pick the guy at home.
Yeah, I think that's a good little rule of thumb. In terms of defenders, we've got a few nice super rare options. My super rares are quite good defensively in that sense. They're playing well. We've got Jordan Bayer, Eric Garcia, and Nishio as like the 3 main super rare options here. To be fair, we do have a Nico as well, but he's away to Derby. I know Derby are 23rd. I just don't know if it's like a crit. I know he played really well last week. Obviously got the clearance off the line. I don't know whether, like, my brain has always been like, I love fullbacks, but I've been like killed by the fullback tax. So recently, in Bayer and Garcia, I've got more centre halves now, right? So I'm less worried about losing the possession. I'm just more conscious of them dominating the game. Obviously, Barcelona are going to dominate against Cadiz. That's a no-brainer. But in terms of like Jordan Bayer, it's really funny because like every time I play him, he scores like really bad. But every time I don't play him, he's unbelievable. So like I missed out on the 83 here. I missed out on the 68. And I got the 30. Like I played him in the 39 and 50. So like I just can't win with him right now. But I think Garcia's got to be nailed on here, hasn't he?
I was going to say, mate, looking at the Derby thing, Derby are dead and buried, second bottom,
But sometimes when you play against dead and buried teams, they sort of, I know it's Fulham and they're obviously going to be way better than Derby, of course. But you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I do go with Garcia and Williams. That could be my little super rare like matchup. But I definitely want to go with Garcia. I think that's a very good game for him. And we know Araujo's out. So unless he gets injured tonight, I just don't see how he doesn't play against Cadiz on Monday. Then the other contemplation is midfielders. Frankie Amaya was suspended last weekend. Does he fall straight back into that Red Bulls team? I spoke to Sean. He seems to think he will. Yeah, I'm not like, you think he will?
I think if he's available, they put him back in because he's been so integral to the way they've started the season.
Yeah, fair enough. I see that. So then my question would be, would you go Amaya or Nico Williams as the super rare?
Amaya's got a great fixture. So I think the jeopardy on both of them is quite equal. I would go Amaya, but again,
I see that. I completely see that. I do have Daiki, who's coming back from injury, which obviously hasn't got a great fixture, to be fair. He's actually playing against his ex-club, and I do like players playing against their ex-club. That's something I do like that. But okay, we'll go Amaya. I can definitely see the theory in that one. And then the next contemplation is which rare forward we're going to use, right? We've got a couple options in Alvarez, who obviously could get rotated. We've got Lucas Beltran, who's one of the new guys into the gallery. He seems to get rotated for the for the like he plays in the Copa Libertadores, but he doesn't seem to play in the league over the last few games. So that worries me. So I'm not going to touch him.
Yeah.
We've got this new guy Mitsutu. Could potentially be a nice little play. Obviously, playing away, as you said, Iwata horrendous, like you mentioned, and then we do have Jesus Ferreira as well, which would be playing against Amaya, which is not a big deal, to be completely honest. But yeah, do you think? What do you think here? Do you think Alvarez is the play, even though he could get rotated?
I think your guy against Jublu Iwata, if you
You
think
think, yeah?
if he's a starter, then I would just go with that because that's
Okay,
an okay team against a rubbish team, you know.
yeah. No,
And
I
fair
see
enough,
that.
like, you might say the same about Red Bulls and Dallas, but Dallas, you know, it's the Dallas forward you've got, and like I would still expect Ferreira to get, you know, you can still do well in that
Something.
match. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
easy, you know, for that to happen. But
for sure.
I think if you look at the table, let me just pull it up. Sorry, if you look at the J League, like that, Iwata are like. I asked Sorare Japan about them because Jubilee Iwata used to be a big team. And I was asking
Okay.
him, oh, so what do you think about them for this year and all that? The video's out. People can go and check out if they want.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I look forward to seeing them in J2 next year. He thinks they're going straight down.
No
You
way they're
know,
that bad, are they?
all their best players are. He's like they've got 3 really good players, but they're all 40. He's not even joking. You have
That
3
sounds
guys
about
that are
right.
like legends of the league, but they're like 42, 39 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they've played 8 games. They've won 1, drawn 4, lost 3. You know, they're and then
Okay.
we're Hiroshima mid-table, yeah, and Hiroshima
Three
have won the
three
last
clean
3 games.
sheets. Yeah,
It's the Vispa and Yokohama. They just beat Yokohama 2 games ago.
they did.
Yeah, so I would be. If you think that boy plays for Hiroshima, I don't know anything about him, but that's a good
Yeah,
fixture to be getting on.
yeah. I don't really see a situation where he doesn't play, but then again, to be fair, one thing that's made me a little bit scared is that on SofaScore they played midweek and he played this Matsuku guy, and basically he got brought off in the 96th minute.
Ouch.
Um, to be fair, 2 players got brought off in the 96th minute, so maybe it was just it doesn't say he got injured, and I know SofaScore's not gospel in the sense that it's always truthful when someone does get injured. So yeah, maybe I'm overthinking that. You know what? We're going to go with him. We're going to throw him in, making the debut for the gallery, and then extra position. Obviously, we need to just go rare, so we'll get rid of all scarcities and we'll just filter by rare and just see fixture wise what we've got going on, right? So Leite's got a good fixture, but I don't even think he plays, to be honest. Pellegrini's got a good fixture, but I just don't want to play a left back.
Yeah.
Scores aren't that great, and I just don't even trust him to completely start. Maicon played last night and played 60 minutes for Corinthians. Did okay, but I don't think he's the be all or end all in terms of my options.
Surely
I think
Fabio.
Vieira. Yeah, you'd like to think Fabio Vieira. We do have a Fofana and a Sale Young Woo that could come into contention. We've got a Paxton, which probably isn't going to do much. Arson at home.
Oh yeah,
I don't mind that fixture.
Yeah, who's that? Ural or Ufa?
Yeah, no, Gronzi.
Gronzi, sorry.
2nd v 8th. Or we could play a rare Nico Williams if we really had to.
So is it Grozny? Over the last 10 games, Grozny are top 6 on the form table.
Okay.
And the last 5, but they're second bottom. Wow, the last 5 games, Grozny have lost 2, lost 3 and drawn 2. They've only got 1 goal. They've only scored 3 goals in 5 matches. And that's
that's interesting.
That's already been away to Zenit. Is that who they're playing? Akmat Grozny, are you sure?
Yeah, they got like a green badge, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just played 5 days ago. Zenit won 2-0.
Okay.
They drew with Arsenal 0-0. Grozny lost to Lokomotiv 3-2. They drew with Ural 0-0. And then before that, they lost to Kazan 2-1. So they're definitely there for the taking on current form. Zenit are top, not lost in the last 5, and this team can't win in the last 5.
Do you think that's a better fixture than Vieira?
And then away from home, let's see, over the last 10, Grozny. Yeah, they're 12. I don't know. Vieira's got the AA game, I suppose, but
he does.
Zakarian has a bit of AA and he's very decisive capable. I'm not that up on Fabio Vieira. You'll be better.
I mean, yeah, decisive-wise, Vieira's been unbelievable. But the problem is it's been like off the bench. He started last game. He didn't get a decisive. Got dragged like 60th, 70th minute. I mean, I don't see a world where he doesn't start, though. That's my issue. And I'm like, how can I not play a Vieira if I think he's going to start?
Agreed.
That's my issue. Yeah, like that would be the best way to sort of describe it. I think we do have an Enzo Fernandez, but I'll probably pair him with Alvarez in a different lineup to where, like, if they do get rotated, they get rotated. Yeah, we'll throw in Vieira for now, and we're probably just going to have to captain him. I think that's going to be the play for now. And then we'll go straight into under 23 rare. This shouldn't take too long in terms of contemplations because, well, we want to do goalkeeper first. Do you think, well, like we said, you think Bayandi is the better option here at home?
Yeah, I like second versus second bottom. Yeah.
You like that, don't you? Yeah. No, I get that. Again, this is going to depend on if, like, Fofana plays tonight and doesn't play on the weekend. It's because he did that last week. He played against PSV and didn't play at all against whoever they played in the Prem. So whether that happens again, he's currently on Ramadan as well, so he's fasting. Yeah, so it's kind of rough for him right now, but he's managing it. He scored 100 last week against PSV. So
I'll be getting. I think Nico, and again, you'll be better placed.
No, I like you giving me you think you like the Nico shout, do you?
Yeah, in this division for sure. Like Odilon looks good and all, but I can't really back that because I'm back in Leipzig, But Odilon, he could score really well in that game,
100%. Well, I might actually keep him for the specialist league because he is L 15 under 40.
Oh, cool.
So he might be able to throw in there. I think we have to go with either Enzo Fernandez or Arsene or both in here. What would you say? I know Enzo's massive.
I definitely like the logic of keeping Enzo and Julian together in case they are rotated as heavily as Argentina do.
Yeah, something like this.
If he didn't do that, let's just say, like, forget the pair of them. Who would your forward be if you didn't have Alvarez?
It would be Ferreira. Yeah, it'd have to be, wouldn't it?
Aye, play Ferreira, didn't you?
I'd have to do that.
Aye. If there's any question marks, forget them. And then if it's Zachariah, who's the killer?
Yeah, you'd probably go you'd probably go Arsene here just because it's not worth the risk maybe with Enzo, like you said. And then in terms of our extra player, it's got to be either Wu or Fofana, would you say? It has to be, doesn't it?
I think this team is built upon like less question marks, so I would keep it in that kind of vein. Like people.
Yeah, well, Wu plays tomorrow, so we'll know a little bit more in terms of like if he that's the issue, isn't it? It's like if he gets injured, blah blah blah. Yeah, so I think it's going to be a toss up between Fofana and Wu. If I knew Fofana was going to play, I'd probably play Fofana. Away to Newcastle, rough game in the sense that Newcastle are going to be strong, physical, loaded along. I can just see him sort of doing well dual wise in that situation. So I'll probably throw Fofana in there for now, depending on what happens tonight. And then in terms of captain, I think most decisive, capable, and at home, it's got to be Arsene, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's the under 23s done. No, I completely, I like having like outsiders sort of.
You've got good guys there. It's not as if the guys that you've picked there, like Zachariah and Ferreira, are top of the shelf.
Yeah, they're solid, very very solid. Okay, so in terms of my next little venture, I think I can actually play Asia. Go on.
Carl's nailed it. Fabio Vieira over Fofana. Have you picked Fabio Vieira already?
I put Fofana. I put Vieira in the Rare Pro team. Rob says Fofana starts tonight. Okay, I'll keep tabs on that. Because I'm not using Osako in any of my lineups. He's available to use in a cheeky Rare Pro team. We'll get into this now. So basically, it's going to look like something like maybe a Hiroshima defensive stack, and then it's a very questionable Shimizu stack. I have 2 super rare mids. I could even play Arakai in here technically. Whether he plays or not is a different story. But I have 1 forward, and that is Kamiya, who actually didn't play last game. And his AH score has been really, really good. He creates a load of chances. Hasn't had a decisive in the last couple, to be fair. But they've got a few players back. So Osei Hun's been starting. Well, he started the last game. So there's a lot more firepower in terms of Shimizu. So it's a risk in the sense of like I don't even think Kamiya starts, or maybe this is just like a pointless thing to do. But something like this, and maybe I could date. Well, actually, I have Nishio as well. Nishio's a definite that's going to play. It's just, do I bother playing all these Asian guys in Asia Pro, or do I just go for a strong all-star rare pro team. Not include all these, but like, a mixture of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that could be the play. So let me go back into because this game week, it looks like I'm only going to have maybe 3 like rare lineups to where like, or rare pro lineups, whatever you want to call them, to where like I'm confident in them. The rest are going to be like complete throwaways. I think I'll have a load of dross on the bench probably. So yeah, would you go Amani or the Osako stack here with the Hiroshima boys? You probably have to maybe go with those two, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I like the Jubilee Owata fixture. I think if you get J League cards playing Jubilee, you should definitely target that.
Yeah, 100%. And then midfielder, I've probably have to go with we could throw in Enzo and Alvarez in here just on the off chance, in the sense of like, I don't care too much about this lineup if it doesn't play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not playing 2 super rares if I do that, and I'd rather try and fit in 2 super rares if I could. That's the issue there. But then looking at my supers here, Silemikers, Anderson, I don't fancy any of them really to play. If I'm like completely honest, when I say play, I mean start.
Yeah.
Do I just throw in like a really punty Asian team in here and just see what happens?
All-Star Rare Pro.
Yeah, because like I don't really have the players, like the luxury of.
What teams have you picked so far?
I've only done my 2 under-23 teams, because I would be playing an under-23 super rare team where all the rest of my under-23 super rares would live, but obviously I can't do that because of Tani. Technically, I can do that if we think Jong Sang Bing is going to start, or Lee Haji. Obviously, they're both super rare forwards. Do you think they got? Well, you're not going to know much about Sang Bin. Sang Bing actually started the last game.
Oh, did he?
He did, to be fair. Yeah, his first start, they drew 2-2. He got brought off in like the 65th. So I'm not too confident on him starting again, to be honest. Lehaji started the game before last. Got like a 50 like AA score. He did well. Not like 50 AA on his own, just combined with the decisive score. But then got dragged. And then obviously last game, he didn't even come on at all. But they drew 1-1. They struggled. Do you think it could? Maybe I just throw in like a completely punty under-23 super rare team and just hope he gets off the bench?
Maybe. Or so is the alternative is do that for super rare U20s, or go all-star rare pro with a punt.
I could do both still, if that makes sense.
I'd make better, but I'd make I would definitely make the best all-star pro team at this point.
Yeah.
Even if you want to make it punty and put your river guys in here.
Yeah. What, in the all-star pro?
Yeah, because if they start, they can compete if they start, like
100%. So let's just throw in Osako here. And then in terms of super rare defenders, we've got 3 good options in Nico, Bea, and Nishio.
Nishio.
I don't
want to say Nico because he's the only one I know anything about.
No, of course. I mean, Bea's got back into the Gladbach side, and like I said, scored well every other game that I've not played him. Like, this would follow the route of like this game he would score well, if that makes sense. It would be like score well, not so well. Yeah, so I think he's probably got to get in, hasn't he?
12 averages on this one.
100%. And then so midfielders, we can play. Suzuki started the last. Oh, where's he to? Suzuki super rare. Although this fixture isn't great, he basically got an assist last game. He helped me win the Iraqi super rare, but he didn't actually get given the assist, if that makes sense. He had a really good AA game though. This team's like really punty, like stupidly punty. Like, I'm not expecting anything. Would you go Lihaji over Sangbin on the off chance that somehow Lihaji gets the nod at home to Lens?
Let me go look at Leo. 2 seconds.
Because for whatever reason, whatever Leo's doing right now is just not working. That's just the bottom line, isn't it?
So let's see. The last game, Yilmaz and David. Yeah, I don't think he's even though David's been a bit. Let's have a look at formations, and then before
they're playing like a 4-2-2-2 situation, isn't they?
Yeah. So Lee Haji came in. I think Lee Haji came in. I would not be backing Lee Haji to start the next match. I think
you wouldn't.
Nah, but Renato Sanchez back fit, Bamba's fit. No, if David and Yilmaz are the best two, he didn't even come off the bench in the last game. I wouldn't be touching Lee Haj.
Not worth it. That's fine. Okay, we throw in Sang Bin on the off chance.
Again, I would bring you this team, mate. See your Sang Bin.
Yeah.
Imagine that was Julian Alvarez, and then you put Enzo Fernandez next to that. That's a decent punt at pro.
It is. No, it is. Well, yeah, I guess it is.
all-star pro,
Yeah.
Because if it is a punt, then because Sang Bin, I think, is a long shot. I've not looked at him as closely as you.
No, you're right. Yeah, I mean, he's been
not
coming
played
off
a
the
lot this
bench.
year.
No,
Like,
you're right. Completely right. Yeah, no, completely right. And
at least
yeah,
take a
maybe.
punt that's credible. They might not
Yeah,
get
yeah,
rotated. Whereas this guy,
yeah.
you're praying that he starts his second game in a row for the first time ever.
100%. Then I just feel really guilty then because I'm not playing Nico Williams Super anyway, and I'm like, oh my god,
or play Nico
like
over the other guy you picked in here.
what a Bayer. Yeah. So we go Osako in goals. We go. We've got to play Nico, haven't we? We can't not back Nico.
Why don't you do super rare defense stack with the other guy, the Bear,
Yeah.
and then do the River Plate rares? Because the
Yeah,
midfielder, you're
that
like,
works
oh, the
perfect.
picture wasn't great, but he kind of did
Yeah,
something, but didn't really.
100%. No, that's a really good way of looking at it. If they do start, then this is a decent team, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely live with that. And then we just captain Enzo. I think that looks decent, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a punt, isn't it? But it's
Yeah,
like they
massive
might not
punt.
get rotated as easier to imagine than Sang Bin and this and that, and the stars
Yeah,
are lining, and it's their horoscope this month, and
100%. 100%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in those three teams on here, and then we're going to build the specialist together.
Nice.
We'll do that on Sorare just because I don't even know if it works on Sorare data, to be honest. But yeah, this is obviously not going to work because Tanny's
Rob
yeah.
Marshall's got some good insight in the chat about Hiroshima. And I've seen Chrissy Quirk mentioning Castellanos to Bruges, and Luca K has come back in talking about Benteke is wanting back in Belgium. So we're getting all the gossip.
Okay, this is good. Yeah, I'm just reading up on this now. Hiroshima played a full team in the cup, which was a surprise. I think they play the same team this weekend. Okay, nice. Antwerp wants Benteke. Okay, interesting. Interesting to know. So we go Costa, we go Garcia, we go Amaya, we go Misutu, and we go Vieira, and we just click confirm. Nice and easy. We do the same for under 23. So we go Benyadia, Fafana. We go. Who did we go midfield here? Who did we go? Arsene. Where is Arsene? Have I used him somewhere? Yeah, I've popped him in the weekly. Interesting. And then Ferreira. Yeah. Yeah.
The plot thickens.
I did. The plot does thicken. Okay, so that's that. What we'll do is we'll get rid of this. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking at
no, you're fine. One of my
cases.
One of my AirPods died.
Oh, ouch.
Which is great. Osako, Nico Williams, Enzo Fernandez, Julian Alvarez, and we go. Where is he? Where is he? Is he there? Who? Yeah, Jordan Bayer, wasn't it? Was it Bayer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Bayer. Okay, perfect. Next, we'll prioritize the specialist over All Star for now. So I got this little situation here that you might like. It doesn't. I mean, Dallas aren't great defensively, but basically, I've obviously got a Pice.
Yep.
And I do have a L15 under 40 in Jose Antonio Martinez.
Nice.
So obviously he qualifies under 40. Yeah. So there's one done. And then the other one would basically have to be either Cosanu, Pellegrini, and that's it basically. So it's basically Cosanu.
Okay.
So then we're looking at a mid in the form of, do you think Dela Cruz doesn't get rotated last? Like he obviously played really well last night, scored. Do you think, I know Barco's out. I know they have other options. Pochettino, there's a few guys that can sort of do his role, but do you think he gets the nod?
I think, I don't know, like, who's your forward options? Because what makes it easier sometimes for me to make some of these decisions is knowing, like, really how strong could the team end up being. Like,
yeah, good question. I mean, Camilla and Beltran are the only two that could like 80% to play. I think Beltran played midweek in the Copa Libertadores, played like 65 minutes, and then got brought off. They actually lost the game, to be fair. I think he might get a nod over Camilla, who, like I said, didn't play last game for whatever reason, but started every other game before that.
Yeah. So I'd pick your striker, and then like you'll be able to, so you pick with the Beltran guy.
Yeah, I'll go with Beltran.
So I don't know your Jose Martinez guy. Who does he play for? Sorry.
He plays with that. He plays for FC Dallas, so they're a little defensive stack.
Too.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
He's the left centre half with Matt Hedges.
And then he could be busy. Okay, yeah. So I guess, yeah, you want a midfielder probably at this stage that's because none of these guys are questionable really. Other, your forward's kind of 60-40, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know. Is De La Cruz just as likely? Unless I don't know. I know he's had a lot of injuries.
Pomykal plays, but does he do much? He hasn't done much, has he, this season? I love watching him play. I think he's quality, but I just don't really get that output out of him in the sense that, Weezermon said Uita will start. J-League teams tend to play weakened teams in the Cup. Weezermon, just to add to that, Uita actually didn't play in the league last game, if that makes sense. Uita actually played in the Cup, to be honest. So I don't think he plays on the weekend, if I had to guess. Carl says Paxton completes the Dallas stack. I mean, yeah, that satisfies my OCD. If Onana plays, though, I think Onana gets a good score.
De La Cruz, I would play De La Cruz. I think he
would. You?
Yeah. So looking at his last kind of run of fixtures, so he had some World Cup action.
Yeah.
4 days later, starts, plays 84 minutes of River Plate. 4 days later, away to Lima. Where's Lima again? That's Peru, maybe?
Peru, I think, yeah.
Yep. Plays 83 minutes. And then 4 days later, at home to Argentinos, plays 45. I'm guessing that's the second 45. And then Fortaleza last night plays 88. And let me see. Yeah, he came on. He came on at halftime in a 4-2 win. Did he get decisive at all? No, he didn't.
No, I don't think he did.
Okay, I think he'll feature because Banfield are Banfield. Let me go look at the table.
Like 6th, I think, in the league.
Yeah, and whereas so where's the other team then? I'm looking at Argentinos. Where are they then? I'm just waiting for it to load on my screen. Sorry.
I'm not sure where they're. They could be like 7th, maybe.
Oh yeah, so they're around the same turn. Yeah, so they're both tough opponents. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I'd probably go with De La Cruz.
Yeah, that makes
anyone else jumping out there that you think, oh yeah, he'll definitely play.
No, I mean Pomykal definitely plays, but like I just don't trust his score. I'd rather go with De La Cruz to where he's so much more decisive capable if he plays, and I'm not banking on this team doing much. It's just like it's a shot, it's a stab in the dark, isn't it? It's just a punt.
So average score for Pomykal against a midfielder against New York's 46, and yeah, his last couple of scores. His all-round hasn't been great. Home in Nashville, he got 13. Away to the Revs, he actually did well, but I think he gave away a penalty or something.
I think he did, yeah.
Toronto was okay. Actually, I don't know. Pomykal, I don't know. You need that team to score big. And
Pomykal's not going to do that for me, is he? I don't think. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll probably just complete it with the All-Star team. And then if you want to show us your teams for the week, and then we can sort of call it a day there, maybe, if you want. Amani's my only other goalkeeper playing. Ray, obviously, so he has to play. We have a few options here. We could go Nico again. We could go Seo Young Woo. We can go Nagomi, the new guy that I brought in with Osako. I think Nico's probably the best option here in terms of XP as well, you could say.
Yeah, XP is a good factor in this division.
Yeah, 100%. And then we're back to the drawing board with the Rays. I mean, we know Pomykal's probably going to play. Onana's like not guaranteed, but probably could. Is it worth taking the risk in an All-Star if you're just looking for ETH? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's probably not worth it, is it? And then you go Kamiya. In terms of my forward, I don't have much else other than him. And then as an extra, would you go Seo Young Woo or would you go Nagami? I think...
Again, I don't know the guys well enough. I would just go with the safest.
Yeah, I think this guy could be the safest. In terms of fixture, like we said, Hiroshima's been defensively unbelievable recently, so maybe he could be just a really solid AA situation, clean sheet maybe, and maybe take it from there. Yeah. Like I said, that team's not going to compete for anything, but as long as it scrapes me a bit of ETH, happy days, isn't it?
That's it.
Okay, that looks like we're concluded for that. I don't have any limited teams. I have a few nice players. I just don't have a stupid goalkeeper. I have an Aaron Long. I have a Escara. Roldan, Leandro. I have some good midfielders that could play.
Yeah.
Obviously Jordan Morris as well if he plays. I could put out a decent little team here. I just don't have the goalie. So yeah, I'm probably not going to enter then. I don't have any balance really. So it doesn't look like I'll be bringing in any goalkeeper in that sense. But yeah, should we get your stream on stream? So what we'll do is show on stream. Okay.
Boom. I've just finished a
Take
little
it.
Sorry.
No worries, mate. Take it away.
Well, with the Specialist League, this is a team I've ended up putting. I'll just zoom in a wee bit just so you can read names and whatever. But this mad Axel Werner guy has managed to be in like all my underdog teams and whatever. Plays in Argentina. Yeah. The Takao was in okay form, and so Gamba Saka are playing Shonen Belmer, and as you know, like Tani can't play.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just hoping those two guys, Werner and Takao, are like my underdogs.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping then Ferran Torres hopefully starts against Cadiz. Saka's got the team from fucking Singapore.
Yeah.
And Rui Diaz apparently came off in a stretcher but isn't actually injured.
Yeah, I saw that. It was weird. That was.
Yeah. So that's a bit of a gamble, but I'm just so light on forwards that I can't afford to not play guys like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's just cross our fingers and toes. I think that could do well. If they all start, then that could do as well as any team, really.
100%.
Specialist Limited, it's the same goalkeeper again.
Yeah.
And then I've got Rutter, who's the underdog caliber guy. He's at home to Firth. So I'm hoping Hoffenheim have a bit of a barrel. And then the three guys in the middle, I think, kind of pick themselves, don't they?
Yeah, that's a wicked little team. Jesus. Yeah. So strong. That's very strong.
Fingers crossed. But then, so I build that team and then I just kind of throw the rest of the limiteds together as best I can, you know.
Yeah.
I've not put too much thought into any of these. It's just best kind of looking players available. There's my Dzeko and my Negredo. So I'm getting a wee bit of the Man City boys back in town for Champions Euro.
That is nostalgic.
So hopefully they'll play. The games, you know, Seville at home at Madrid we spoke about.
Yeah.
Sociedad Betis won't be an easy game, but David Silva, if you look at his L5 and stuff, he's starting to get scores again, which is fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's see what happens there. All the Turkish boys I've bought, and then that Makaric that I bought for free, kind of, for the midweek.
Yeah.
America. I'm getting some Corinthian guys in here now, so we'll see what happens. Yeah,
nice.
So. But again, limited, that's as much attention as I pay it, really. And then rare, like you'll see how little teams I've actually got out. So this is all-star rare. I'm going with the Garcia and the Guardiola. I've actually mixed this up since we've been on stream because I'm kind of taking some of my own advice as I'm talking to you. So I've actually deleted one more team and made everything a bit stronger. But this is the all-star rare pro team. The Depay is the biggest question mark, but that just shows you again like how light I am for forwards.
Yeah.
What I also tried to do as well, by the way, is I'll maybe show you this, right? And the guys in the live chat can help us out. So what I started off doing at first, but under 23 pro, is because my goalkeeper and my forward options are so light that these were going to be my two super rares, and then I was going to fill this out with this shape here, basically. If I can get it all clicked together, I was going to run with this team.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a super rare goalkeeper and a crap forward, you know. And then it was River Plate stuff we were kind of chatting about, and I was thinking, yeah, I'm really like Cabral. I'm not that, and I've got other super rares knocking around. But then I'm listening to you, thinking, oh, there is a real lack of those super rare forwards and goalkeepers this game week.
Yeah.
So then I ended up binning that team.
Okay. Then, so you had that in, did you?
I had that in, and then you know the Guardiola and the Garcia. I've just come over here to make that a bit stronger.
Yeah.
I then ended up putting Ferran Torres over here.
Okay.
And then I ended up making this for super rare.
Nice.
So,
nice, yeah.
I don't know if it would do any better or whatever, but I've now ended up, so I've got 3 super rare teams. I think they're all pretty good. Cunha might start, but he's decisive capable from the bench. Otherwise,
easy, yeah.
Otherwise, the rest of this team's kind of okay. That team's kind of okay. And this team gets picked every week regardless, so I'm kind of autopilot on those guys. This is my best team. Best striker option, it turns out to be a super rare. It's Nemeka. I think he will score goals against Dortmund. Saka, as I mentioned, Champions League game. Theo Hernandez, who is like the French Gareth Bale, at home to Genoa. They have to get the points, as we spoke about already. And Zella Ryan just has all the statistics. He's at home. His L15 is 75 or something. The opposition statistic for a midfielder against Orlando is crazy mental. So that's just the best team I can pick. Kim Sung-gyo's got a huge multiplier. He's at home, 4th in the league against like 12th in the league or something.
I really like that team, Quinny, to be fair. Yeah, that really stands out to me.
If I've only got one team that picks up a reward, it will be this team.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
that's the way I kind of build these ones. And then Champ Euro Pro, like I expect Tonali to do a lot in the Genoa match. He could rack up huge AA even if he doesn't get decisive. And then with that multiplier, could be handy. Renato Sanchez should start again. Has no midweek football to worry about. Is decisive capable. I'm a wee bit worried about the Leipzig guys because they play tonight, and then the Leverkusen game is on Sunday, so a wee bit of a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But a lot of the Leipzig team get rested last weekend. So it's not that I'm worried necessarily they may get rotated, but maybe a wee bit of burnout because it is like high intensity games. Leverkusen is going to be a huge match for them in the league. Obviously playing Atalanta and Bergamo tonight will be huge for them.
Yeah.
So it's maybe just a wee bit of burnout and All Black kind of picks himself. And then I've thrown this team together. So this was a pro team as well, but so when I showed you that super rare team.
Yeah, with Hassel Cabral. Oh, no, this one. Yeah.
Yeah, but Hassel and Cabral. So Lennon and Alvarez were my America Pro super rares.
Got you.
But again, looking at the pro payout in America, I'm like, why even bother? Because the striker's
probably not worth it. Yeah.
Who is going to be on the bench as well. So this is like, who cares
Throw away.
what happens? Yeah, because again, the striker's so flimsy. The rest of the team's okay, but such a flimsy striker, like, why sacrifice those super rares and why do this and why do that, blah, blah, blah. I just think, sack it. I'll just throw these guys at it. And then Ivan Illich is away to Atalanta on the 18th. Today's the 14th. Atalanta play Leipzig tonight.
Yeah,
so
nice.
Maybe that's okay for him. So that's how I'm rocking it. As I say, like, I'm really excited for this team.
Yeah.
Both my specialists I'm hyped about, and I'm hyped for my All-Star Pro. They're my three biggies for this week.
Yeah. No, I like the look of those teams. That you've got a few little nice little lottery tickets there, I think. I was just thinking in my head then, it's like I feel guilty not playing some like the good super rares, like let's say for example that Nishio guy, right? He's like captain of Saruki Osaka right now, whatever. He's like 19, 20. Like he might not even get into my sides this weekend, even though he got a good fixture or whatever. But it's like ultimately you gotta just disregard that in the sense of like, if he doesn't fit in, he doesn't fit in. And if those teams you feel like as strong as they can be and they do end up winning something, like, then that's all that matters in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't worry about what you're missing out on in the sense of like what you're not playing. Worry about like what you've got in that five. And if that's the strongest on paper, even though there might be other strong options, what is the strongest five?
Big time. And so I've deleted two teams, like doing this to make my small contingent even stronger. So like, that's always the advice I'd go for. Too many people get stressed out. We try to pick 12 winning teams. Just pick one, like pick the one team that you'd put your life on. Like if I had one team to win this week, it would look like this, and put it in All-Star because it'll qualify for All-Star. It will, and don't worry. This is all just my POV, but like, just pick one team and then go from there. And then just trickle down everything else is probably the best way to describe it. That's why I go with like trying to get all my boys into the under 23 Rare Pro. That's my bread and butter. Where it looks like your All-Star Rare Pro this week is your bread and butter. Like that is what I'm saying, because all my main guys are all under 23. You're sort of a mixture between main guys at under 23, but a lot of your like really strong SO5 guys, Zelarayan, Theo. I mean, Theo's 23s technically, but you know what I'm saying? Like your guys fit in there really nice, and you can make a really nice All-Star Pro team where I have to like put all my leftovers in All-Star Pro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The pain I get is like, again, when you're stressing out trying to build 5 winning teams or 6 winning teams or whatever, is like, if I was to put, especially, or maybe not this week, right, because I've got Nemeka, right, but like to take that under 23 thing, like if I know that Theo Hernandez is at home to Genoa and he's very capable of getting a decisive, and that's the jeopardy with a fullback, is you want that game to get the decisive, if I like, oh, he's 23s, I really need to pull him 23s. And then I had a all-star defender who's over 23, score like 50. I'd be kicking myself because I'm like, I knew he was better than that guy, and the only reason he didn't play in that team was because of his age. So like I say, I'm a big proponent of just pick the best team that you can first, put it in all-star, and then go from there. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I do completely agree with that, 100%.
Or specialists, if it meets the criteria, because I've tried doing that as well. Is like pick my best team and then see if it actually qualifies for specialists, because that would be a lovely coincidence, because if your best team did meet that criteria, then go for it, man. Because again, that's the best prizes available if you think All Star's a bit too competitive for you, or you're not as excited by All Star prizes.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. 100,000%. Jonathan has just joined the chat. Jonathan, what's going on, man? We're actually just closing in really on the end of the live. Yeah, it's been fun. I've really enjoyed this. I think we should make this more of a regular thing, now that we know how to stream and do, both of our audios simultaneously, whatever. I think that could really work. Is the team's out?
Yeah, all my Leipzig boys. Benjamin Henrik starts. That was a wee bit of a dubious
Nice.
goal, but I
That's
managed to get him.
huge.
So hopefully this team does all right. All-Star Pro, I'm coming for you, Harry. All the Leipzig and all the River Plates, I'm coming for you.
Oh well, I'm in All-Star, not All-Star Pro, so you got a free run at that one. That's all you. That's all you, mate. But yeah, All-Star in. That's good. That's good to know.
And then this is my specialist. So I bought this little guy for 11 quid. He starts. He's playing now.
Yeah, good.
Let's see what happens there. Jordan Morris is a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I had the same. He missed a funny story. I had Roldan in my specialist team with him, and Roldan actually scored really well AA-wise, as you can see here.
I put Roldan and Rui Diaz an All-Star.
I think Roldan actually set up Morris for a sitter, and Morris actually missed the big chance. If that makes sense. Yeah, so that would have been another double decisive situation, but obviously wasn't to be. But
like Stefan Savic as well, running the roost.
Big Steph. Jesus, he's an absolute monster, isn't he? It's a good score, that is. Very good score. Jonathan says, how confident are you, Harry, this week out of 10? I'll be honest, Jonathan, considering the streak I'm on a ridiculous streak. I've won 2 rare tier 1s last midweek. I won obviously the super rare tier 1 this week. And then obviously now midweek again, I'm 5th in All-Star somehow. I don't think I'll be honest, if I had to put money down, I don't think I'm continuing that streak this weekend. So in terms of out of 10, yeah, man, for 6s.
I think your 23 team's good.
It is good. It is good, but then it's I don't know. It is good. It is good. Okay, fair enough. But I don't know. I'm just not I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm just not buzzing about it. But no.
So what's missing from it? So see that you don't need to submit it right now. You've got another 12 hours.
No, of course. So when I would say what's missing from it is normally I wouldn't go with an Asian forward in the sense of if I have an Alvarez and a Ferreira available, they normally play in this team. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't normally go with a different option, but obviously with rotation situations, that's why I'm having to sort of contemplate that. And then I look at Vieira and I go, wow, this kid could score 100 so easily, but he could also just be on the bench and he could just fuck me over. Do you know what I'm saying?
Let's have a look at the Portuguese league, because see that feeling, that's what's going to that's the feeling that I'll try and chase down, because it's your gut telling you something's wrong. So let's have a look. So Porto are 6 points clear. Obviously Sporting are playing Benfica, and Benfica are not in the title race, but Sporting are. So Porto still need to, how many games will be left? 5? Yeah, they're 2 or 3 matches away from sealing the title. So Porto will want to run to that. That's the way it goes with these kind of leagues. Let's just get that pressure off Rapid. Do Porto have any tough fixtures in the run-in?
My only issue is he's come off the bench and been ecstatic.
So Porto, sorry to interrupt you, but Porto got 5 games left, right?
Okay, yeah.
2 of those games is Braga away, and Braga are notoriously good at home. And they're away to Benfica. So they only have 3 easy games left.
Okay.
So they will want to make sure that those 3 games are won. And that one, the first one is the one at this weekend, which is Portimonense. So I would think they play the best team. If you think he's in the best team, I think he plays if he's fit. They also have a semi-final against Sporting Lisbon 5 days from now. So that's 5 days away. There's no real pressure to rotate for that semi-final because it's 5 days away,
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll have a little think about it later maybe and see if anything else comes into my brain. But no, I am happy with it. I'm just not used to seeing my rotational boys not in the, you know what I'm saying? I'm not having to think about rotational boys too much, but I am this week for whatever reason. Which is fun.
What about if you swap that Ferreira around with your Japanese forward?
Yeah, that would probably make me a bit happier. Maybe.
Yeah, that's it, because again, Ferreira's got the peaks, man.
Yeah, that looks better on the eye in that sense, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that could be the play for sure. That does make me a little happier, I think. Because a little more satisfied.
Even though the opposition statistic of 42 against New York, that's the average striker. Jesus Ferreira is a bit of a cheat code, as we know.
True.
So
Yeah,
like
very
some
true.
of those things, like they're not the be all and end all. But I've just had a look at
100%.
your Japanese guy. He's not got much form to really base much of a profile on. He's
You're
only
right. He's
played
only
like
played like 5 games, and yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. That makes a lot more sense. I do feel a little bit more comfortable now with the Ferreira up front in this game, definitely. But yeah, no, I am excited for the weekend. So
And Carl Brown's on the
well,
same. K Brown's on the same wavelength that we just went through there with the Sporting and the Porto stuff. So
yeah, Porto have a second leg. Okay, yeah, good call. That is, Carl. Same as obviously Quinny as well. You both caught that one. Okay, yeah, right. Well, we've been going for an hour and 40,
oh
which has
well.
been pretty successful. We've had a nice little chat as well with the chat, and yeah, we've had a consistent little viewership, which was nice. Thank you guys for watching. If you don't know who Quinny is, you probably do, because I'd be shocked if you didn't. The OG in the Sorare community. Yeah, go give him a follow. I'll set up the description in a minute. I haven't done it yet, but I'll throw all his stuff in there. But yeah, maybe we should make this a little weekly thing. I like this little situation. Maybe next time, like, we build our lineups before stream, like you did, and then we just speak about our lineups on stream. You know what I'm saying? Rather than actually like build them on stream.
Sure.
And then yeah, and just like preview thing. I think that could be a nice little segue into like a joint live stream situation. You know?
Aye, good fun was had by all from the reaction in the chat for sure.
Yeah, chat's enjoyed it. Quinny the goat. See you on the podium. Love it. Absolutely love it. Right. Well, we'll probably call it a day there. Like I said, thank you all for watching. Thanks to Quinny for joining us. Shaka Boom, good luck to everyone. Hope for many rewards. Yeah, wish all the same for all of you guys. Yeah, big weekend. I'll be back Monday for a live stream. If Quinny wants to join us, he can. And yeah, we'll just take it from there. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. And yeah, that'll conduct the end of the live.
Take care.
Cheers, lads.